Well, here it is, my Fuji Fish hollow wooden surfboard kit has arrived. Half from the spline came from the States, and the paulownia timber from the Gold Coast. Now this is day one. Tomorrow we'll start putting this little baby together, and hopefully be surfing it soon. Well, here we are, we're in the garage, we're all set up. I've got my father, John, 88-year-old John, day one on putting together the hollow wooden surfboard. And we've picked a 5'6" Fuji fishtail surfboard. We'll see how we go. Got the laptop standing by, got the glue gun, glad wrap. As you can see, we've got all the necessary tools around here to make sure we get the job done. Just cleaning off our spline here, making sure there's no tabs left on. I've pushed out of the pattern. Just using a little wood plane, a little bit of sandpaper. No problem. Getting this ready, the spline come in 3 pieces, cost of postage. A little bit cheaper from the centre that way. So our first job today will be to glue these pieces together before we can do anything else. Here we are, we're putting the main frame, internal frame together, using our glue gun and some handy little clamps just to hold it off the deck. Bit of fiddling around here to make sure that this is got my pot in the background there too as a bit of a inspiration. That's the rail shape I'm after. But yeah, a bit of mucking around here, get this perfect. Well, here's our Fuji fish. We've finished pegging it out and using the glue gun to hold it in position. The only thing I can say is because this was an export kit and the centre spline was cut in half, save on postage, to make sure that you get the rocker correct when you join the two halves together, as in the centre there. If you don't get a nice smooth curve through from the front nose of the board right through to the tail, could be disaster. But we're pretty happy after much deliberation with what we've done here, and next step we'll just put some wood glue on that, let that dry, and tomorrow we'll work out a pattern with our planking timber we've got to put on. I'm going to combine some cedar, and this is well work out what pattern we're doing. Yeah, we're getting our first centerpiece on. Very important. We're already steamed one end to get a nice turn up on the nose of the board. I'm just getting it in position now. Make sure it's perfectly straight, because this will govern all the others that we run along the side. We've run down some cedar in strips. We'll put them on. We haven't decided what pattern yet, but we'll be doing something with them. Just getting ready here now to put our last 2 planks on the side. Try and do both of these at once, and then that's the that'll be the top finished. After that, I'll cut out my plan shape and knock the pegs off from underneath, turn it over, and start putting the bottom planking on, which will be interesting because there's 2 large concaves going through the tail on this board. Got plenty of area there to cut out my whatever swallowtail I decide to put there. Looking good. What we've got here is we've got a bit of our timber, and we've got to put a dent in it, a fairly decent dent, put some metho on and we're going to light it and we're going to see if it pulls these dents out for us. An old trick, this one. Also checking whether it's going to mark the timber, which is what we don't want to do. I tried it on a smaller dent and for no problem. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. I think that's gone out now. We can try it. See what it's done to it, Dad.
Hey?
Give it a sand.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a burn on that one, but...
Maybe put the fire out a little earlier. Anyway, we know it works on small marks.
Yeah, well...
That was a very... Just look at it now. Looking good. Just getting our... done a rough cut out around the outside. Plan shape, and just got a little wood plane now. Just John's working close to our finish line. We're not going to go right to it, but leave about 3 mil around it, so a little bit to play with. Just when we get this roughed out properly, we're going to be knocking it off the blocks and turning it over, and look at setting our bits of foam we've got to put into the tail area. There's going to be a thrust to this one, but we're pretty happy with what's happened here so far. So real happy with the line. Of course, we're going to be adding 20 mil to the outside, both sides, when we start laying the rail strips on. I actually quite like it with a cut-off square at the back, just like the Almeric dumpster, or the, might have heard of the neckbeard. Might copy off them. I don't think that's allowed. Doing a good job there, John.
Yeah. There.
What do you reckon? Oldest board maker in Sydney.
You see that there, right on the edge?
Yeah.
On that one.
Bit loose. Oh, a bit more glue. Just knocking the ribs out from underneath now. We're happy with the deck. Not completely finished, but it's close enough for us. Leaving a little bit of work on it in case we mark it. Be able to give it a little bit more sanding and see what happens. They do seem to be coming out alright. We're knocking them off in line with the ribs underneath, so we don't snap anything underneath. There we are, we're back on it again. Doing the bottom of the surfboard. Just getting ready, pre-bending some pieces of cedar just to go around the nose. This is how we're doing. We've had the doing 2 strips at once here. Just had them soaking in the water for about 20 minutes, just using an iron. Press the iron on it, will give us another, we'll kick it a couple of inches for us anyway to get it around the nose. Don't really need a lot on it. Lift it up, Dad, and have a look at that like.
It's got a bead in there?
Yeah. Keep it close to the end of the timber.
Yeah. Well.
So the cedar is a little bit harder to bend than the white timber we're using, the paulownia, which is very easy to bend. But this method, probably 10 minutes of this, and we'll be right in those 2 pieces. They're going to be fitting right there, either side of this pattern. Try and put them both on at once. Alright, we've just fitted our solid tail piece of cedar on the back. We're going to shape that into a swallow tail. And there's our construction so far. Ready to be for the rail sections to be put on. There's a couple of foam blocks I put in where the rear fins to thrust it. where they'll be fitted. Done the rail on the board. Chose to put the vertical pieces around the profile first. Still got to cut that swallowtail out of that tail block. But pretty happy with it so far. This is just one way you could get around the rail to start with. From here we're going to put them on long ways in 3 pieces, we think, to get around the rocker in the board. Got our final piece of cedar clamped on the tail section. Various wedges and that in place. The hole up there. We've got John over there. He's bending the final last 2 outside pieces. What we're doing, we just got a pather on it and steel block. Just spraying it with some water and trying to keep it wet. And we find that the paulownia bends pretty easy, a lot more than the cedar. I'll see if I can show you side on. So you can see there, that's a good curve we've got going there. And we'll give that a few hours. That should be enough. That'll hold enough curve so we can finish gluing it on. What side do you think?
Well done, mate.
Just setting it up here to put the first long strip on the side of the board. Cut a couple of large sash clamps there. Going to do it in thirds. Middle section first. This is one way of doing it. The way we decided to do it. Give it a go. Because of the rocker of the board, you can't get right around the board with one strip. Putting the horizontal bend in the timber just doesn't hold its shape. So we're going to give this a go. Alright, got a series of clamps trying to hold the first strip on, the long way strip on the rail here. You can see we've got a little 45 join there where the next strip's going to come into it. Probably doing the rail, one strip should get to the tail, but the nose, because of the turn up on the front of the nose of the board, probably going to have to do doing 2 pieces to get that turn up. We got the shot of the bottom of the board showing the concave. Double concave going right through, at least halfway. At the stage we're just trying to fit these final pieces on the outside rails. One more lay to go around the whole perimeter of the board. Decided to put a little bit of cedar back in this, a bit of feature in this tail section here. Of course I have to cut out the swallow and cut that block section out when we finish drilling the outside rail and shape that. But yeah, it's coming along. Got the old man there working hard. Go up here, we'll see what's going on with it. It's looking good. A lot trickier than I thought though. We're getting close to finishing now. Got one more piece to go on the side. Going one long piece to the back, and I'll introduce a bit more cedar just to finish off the tail section. Then I can cut the swallow out, leave about 15mm of that solid block there. It's looking pretty good, pretty happy with it so far. I'll learn a few things though, little mistakes that I'll try not to do next time. This is the first one I've made, so we're pretty happy. Still roughing out the rail edges here, getting it pretty close with the hand plane. John's hard at work there. Oldest board shaper in Sydney, maybe the world. Trying to copy off the pod, but it's a bit difficult because of the different thicknesses of the board at different areas because of the fugu fish kit we bought. We're sort of limited. As you can see, the nose is very, very chunky, so it's got to try and adjust that rail to suit, just make it what we think is going to work the best and look the best. But, after we get it down with a hand plane, I'll get the sander, hand sand it, get a nice radius happening. Alright, made a template for the pod. It's about 3 foot up. I'll make many of these at different stages through the rail so I can try and get it right. I know the pod works, so hopefully this will go close. So I'm doing it like that. But that's what we're up to at the moment.
Stop it.
Yeah, keep going, Dad.
Alright, go on. I haven't stopped it.
Yeah, but you can't talk like that. Well, I've roughed up one rail. Pretty close to what we wanted. I haven't completely finished it. One thing I have noticed, the thickness of the nose on the board is probably 10mm thicker than the pod. Nothing I could do about that. That was just in the plan of the fugu fish I bought. So I'm stuck with the thickness there. Looks a bit bogan, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Alright.
So this is what we're doing. Got a couple of templates made up at the pod. A 3 foot mark. I'll make one for about every 12 inches. Follow the shape of that. This is I'm just using a small hand plane. Pretty slow process, but I don't want to hurry this and botch it. Alright, shut it. You can turn it off. Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie.
YouTube.
This is on video, right?
I better put my head on. From a wing. From a wing on.
Depending how many you think you can give me. That's how fast you can do them. The more the better. I've got to pay the bills, feed the kids. I know he hasn't got the kids, so he doesn't understand what a predicament.
There's another shot of the tail. I have one problem with the board, and that is I've got about 10 friends who want to ride it, and I'll let a few friends ride it, but there's probably a couple of them that won't let them on it. But I couldn't be any happier. Just trying to get that purple tinge to come up on this board with the light. That is fantastic. This board has been shaped so well. You'd have to pick the board up and actually see that it's not a fiberglass board, that it actually is a hollow wooden board. It's incredible. that's why everyone's lining up to have a ride. There's that purple coming through now on the cedar. Spin it around in the light. And finished sizes of the board were 5'9", 20 inches wide, 2 3/8 thick.
First paddle and strokes.